Okay, let's just dive right into this. Welcome, everyone, to a brand new explainer. Today, we're going on a seriously high-stakes deep dive into the mind and really the method of a man who literally redefines what's possible under the brightest, most unforgiving lights imaginable. We're looking at how Cristiano Ronaldo takes overwhelming, paralyzing pressure and somehow, against all logic, turns it into pure fuel. We're going to look at the toughest battles he's ever faced and the mental codes he uses to survive when literally everyone else on the planet expects him to crumble. Make no mistake, guys, this isn't just an explainer about football. This is an exploration into the absolute ultimate test of human willpower. Now, I want you to imagine just for a second the absolute most terrifying feeling as a professional. You step out onto the pitch and the odds are completely, totally stacked against you. The crowd is deafening, just roaring for your downfall. The scoreboard is flashing this stark, undeniable signal of your imminent defeat. Now, every single athlete faces pressure, sure, but it's these specific, seemingly hopeless moments that actually define a career. In these exact scenarios, 99% of players would fold. They just accept the loss. But Cristiano Ronaldo, he flat out refuses to lose. So let's see how this actually builds practically on the field. Chapter 1, the 2016 Wolfsburg Masterclass.
All right, we're jumping back to the year 2016. The stage, the Champions League quarterfinal, and the mighty Real Madrid is staring right down the barrel of total elimination. The pressure here is astronomical. In the first leg, they went down 0-2. Nothing was working. So the required result just to survive, they needed an absolute minimum of 3 goals in the second leg. Everyone, the pundits, the critics, the fans of rival clubs, they had all completely written Real Madrid off. It was deemed an impossible mountain to climb. But then, the second leg begins at the Bernabeu. 3, that is the magic number that changed everything. Ronaldo walked onto that legendary pitch with one singular goal in his mind. And man, he delivered a spectacular hat trick. Boom, boom, boom. He scored 2 massive goals in the span of just 2 minutes, completely shifting the momentum of the universe. And then he stepped up and buried a final free kick to absolutely seal the comeback. It was pure, unadulterated dominance. He didn't just participate in that match, he commanded the entire outcome. Now, 4. Let me share a pretty startling fun fact with you about this specific number. Before that legendary hat trick, Ronaldo had been heavily criticized for his form. I mean, the media was absolutely relentless. But instead of arguing or lashing out, he just retreated into silence. For the days leading up to that impossible match, he put in 4 extra hours of solitary training. Every single day. 4 extra hours, completely alone, honing his craft, to silence those heavy critics. He knew, without a doubt, he was the only one who could turn the tide. Which brings me right to you guys. Is Ronaldo just a once-in-a-generation outlier, or does any current footballer actually have this same clutch mentality? Like, is there anyone playing right now who could shoulder that much criticism, train in total silence, and deliver an impossible hat trick on demand? Drop your thoughts in the comments below right now. I'm incredibly curious to read your takes on this. Let's fast forward chronologically now. Chapter 2, the 2019 Atletico comeback.
So, Ronaldo has now joined Juventus. It's a new team, a new country, but he finds himself facing yet another absolutely massive hurdle in the Champions League. Once again, his team is facing a massive 2-0 deficit from the first leg. But this time, it's not just any team standing in their way. It is Atletico Madrid, managed by Diego Simeone. And at the time, this team was world famous for being an absolute defensive masterclass. They were literally the ultimate unit at shutting down opponents, choking the life out of games, and protecting a lead. Breaking through them just once was hard enough. Breaking through them 3 times, that seemed like pure fiction. But get this. Here is an incredible anecdote that shows exactly where Ronaldo's head was at. Days before this seemingly impossible match against the world's best defense, he told his friends and family this exact quote: "Don't worry, we are going through." I want you to really think about that for a second. He wasn't being arrogant. You know, arrogance is loud and empty. He was actually manifesting his success through intense, quiet preparation. He had already played the entire game in his mind, and he just knew the outcome. And once again, the magic number pops up, 3. He stepped onto the pitch and executed a flawless, majestic second hat trick. And to cap the whole shebang off, he literally flew through the air, completely defying gravity, to head in the winner. In those 90 minutes, he rendered the world's absolute best, most notoriously stubborn defense completely and utterly powerless.
It was a massive statement to the globe that a man who simply refuses to lose cannot be stopped by any tactical system, period.
Looking at both of these monumental achievements, I've got a question for all of you. Which comeback do you think was the more impossible one? Was it the 2016 Wolfsburg match where he had to silence his harshest critics? Or was it that 2019 Atletico masterclass against the most unbreakable defense in the world? Let me know in the comments, which one is the ultimate impossible comeback in your book? Okay, let's shift our focus now and get highly analytical. Chapter 3, the mentality code. How does he actually survive these intense pressure cookers? Like, what is happening inside his mind while the rest of the stadium is completely losing theirs? Well, it comes down to a pressure-proof mental system. Step 1. He visualizes the absolute worst-case scenario long before he ever steps onto the grass. Step 2. He prepares his exact response to that disaster before the referee even blows the starting whistle. And step 3, he executes flawlessly. Do you notice the pattern here? When things go terribly wrong on the pitch, he doesn't panic, he calculates. He has already been in this terrible situation in his mind, so there's absolutely no shock, only execution. And that perfectly brings us to what we call the business of CR7. He treats the toughest, most grueling matches as his absolute greatest opportunities to silence his critics. He essentially specializes in performing precisely when the cost of failure is at its absolute highest. And exactly as we just discussed, he calculates instead of panicking. The absolutely crucial takeaway here is that this kind of resilience isn't just something you're magically born with. No way. It is something that is built brick by brick in the darkest, most difficult moments of your life and your career. If you want to learn how to take this incredible Ronaldo-level discipline and apply it directly to your own life, your own hurdles, and your own businesses, then make absolutely sure you subscribe to the Alimentor. We are here every single time to decode the systems of the world's greatest winners so you can use them yourself. So leave a like on this explainer right now if you agree Ronaldo is the ultimate clutch performer. But before you go, I want you to really ask yourself this. When the lights are brightest and the odds are entirely against you, will you panic or will you calculate?